Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I'm putting myself on the clock. Just want to welcome you to the No Judgment Zone with yours, Sean Taylor. Yours truly, Sean Taylor, coming at you, discussing topics with no judgments. Again, discussing topics with no judgments. So, today's topic. Now, I got this from actually having a conversation with someone on yesterday, and it's the human mind, the differences in the human mind when it comes pertaining to men and women. Now, I'm going to segue through all different types of things, even down to how we view fitness, pretty much, and getting our bodies right and things of that nature. I'm gonna tack on talk about relationships. Now, here's the thing: when I actually say anything about relationships, I talk about my failures because I'm no relationship guru. I have to you put that out as a disclaimer. I'm no relationship guru, but I have screwed up in a lot of relationships. You know, um, I have. Marriages haven't been successful. Things are just it just pretty much just happens. And a lot of things I'm going to take accountability for and responsibility for as a man. Reason being because the human mind of men and women are different. Social media's presence doesn't help matters because it is actually taking away the sacredness, the sanctity, the morals and values of what relationships and marriage actually supposed to bring. It's pretty much, if you look on, even going down to reality TV, it's become like a mockery, and that's not what it was actually designed for. But if I'm talking about anything relationship related, it's on my screw ups. You know what I'm saying? So, and I tell people all the time I've lied, cheated, manipulated, deceived, lived two different lives. Um, Painted a picture like I was this dude, ended up turning out to be that dude, the wrong dude. All different types of things. Um, Now, and in hindsight, I wish I would have been like straightforward from the beginning, especially when I was younger. But sometimes when you're in your past life, you have ulterior motives to actually do things. But the human mind, so I don't get straight too far off topic, the human mind of between women and men are different. And just because there's a man, there's a woman, they got two different perspectives, doesn't mean that they can't coexist. Doesn't mean that they can't come together, come to a happy medium, common ground, and work in some type of narrative of that's called compromise. And a lot of people don't want to compromise. They don't want to compromise when it comes to anything. Um, the attitude which I have had in the past, this is me, deal with it, my way, the highway, blah, 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 blah. That's just, when you talk like that, that means you don't have any compromising within your mindset. We walk around and we say, I don't need a man, I don't need a woman. I'm like, man, come on, man. We was designed for each other. You know what I'm saying? So I'm never going to walk around because my mom be rolling around in her grave acting like I don't need a woman. Look, man, I need a woman. I crave for a woman. I long for a woman. When she's not there, I just have that yearning for that woman. You know what I'm saying? So to say that you don't need a woman or to say that you don't need a man, I mean, unless your heart had turned black, something's outside of that picture is very seriously wrong because we do need each other because we were made for each other. But the mindset of men and women, we look at things and we view things differently. That's why sometimes men and women, we butt heads with each other. We have different perspectives on things. Some men hold on to things longer than they should. Some men have grudges. Some men are bitter. Some men talk as if they don't like women at all. Some women have they have those same issues too. It's, and I say all the time, it's messed up on both sides. But just because we have two different perspectives don't mean that we can't come to the table and compromise and agree on some things. When my failures and relationships or marriages is pretty much my fault. Did the other person do things wrong that wasn't so great? Yeah. My mother always said, when things go wrong in a relationship, both parties are at fault. Of course, one's keep a tally on everything that person's done wrong, whatever, whatever. First of all, when you got that type of mindset, you keeping a grocery list tally sheet of what this person does wrong or what they didn't do or whatever. First of all, you going into it, you are in the first of all, that's the wrong thing and wrong attitude or wrong mindset to have anyway, whether you're male or female. Because you can't have that type of conditional type mindset to realize. I mean, that person's not a robot, and you program it, do what you want it to do, and it just does. We're not always going to say the right things to each other. We're not always going to agree with each other. We're not always going to see eye to eye with each other. We're going to have some disagreements. But here's the thing: when we have these disagreements, and I'm at fault for being disrespectful, in past relationships or whatever, and guilty of not always being the most easiest dude to get along with because I'm complex by nature. I got a lot of different layers to me. But as I've gotten older, I realized in order for anything to work between a man and woman, you are constantly adjusting, readjusting, adjusting, and readjusting again. But at the same time, you always got to come you got to come to just a mutual place and pretty much talk things out civilly and have mature conversations. I mean, deep, mature conversation. What's so dope when you finally have somebody that you can have deep intellectual conversations with, and you are connecting on a mental level that most don't. You have something rare. When you finally have someone that can accept you for who you are, they're not trying to change you. They accept you for who you are, where you are, not where they want you to be. But they're going to come together so y'all can complement each other, so y'all can actually keep excelling together going in the right direction. They're not judging you. You know what I'm saying? Um, we can't elevate together when we constantly keeping a tally of everybody's wrong. We constantly judging each other. We constantly unforgiving. We don't hold grudges. I was talking to a friend. I was like, now, men, we have to do better with this. I was talking to a friend, and they was telling me that, and they were just talking like, they were just like, as a married couple, how you be in a house and not speak to each other for a whole entire month is beyond me. But you sending each other notes. You grown. So you actually writing something on a piece of paper like we used to do back in elementary school. You remember we used to write stuff and on a piece of paper and then slide it to that person, and then they open up, do you like me? Check yes or no. I mean, so you're literally a grown man, a grown woman living in a house with somebody. Y'all ain't speaking, but you write notes to each other because you're that mad and you're holding a grudge that strong. This is a real conversation that I was actually having with someone. That means the people out there, see, the mindsets of people, of men and women, it's got to change. Things are not going to get better. The best, and I said it this morning when it comes to fitness, or, and you could apply this to just your personal life in general. The best indicator of future behavior is that of past behavior. Brother, most relationships ain't working out with you because you refuse to change your past behavior patterns. And your past behavior patterns are in your prison, which is, it's destroying. It's like a bad virus that's destroying your situation in the present, and it's going to destroy anything in the future. Why? Because you have not choked it out. You have not destroyed your past behavior patterns, brother, from the past at the root. Same thing with you, sis. You can't get a man, you can't keep a man. I mean, you got to change your old past behavior patterns. Again, the best indicator of future behavior is that of past behavior. And if we refuse to change our old past behavior patterns, how do we think that we're going to build and catapult to the next level and evolve into something great that we've never ever had before? Because nothing actually lasts, because we refuse to change who we are. Change is a choice. But the mindsets of men and women are different, and that's okay. You can still meet in the middle where you come to agreement. Listen, sweetheart, this is what, babe, this is what we're gonna do. Mommy, this is what we're gonna do. And we come to a common ground, and we reach an agreement. But one thing is non-negotiable. We're not gonna embarrass each other in public. Right or wrong, we're gonna have each other back in public. And when we get behind closed doors, we're gonna discuss that issue. But we're gonna have each other's back in public. We always gonna present a united front. That means we always together, right or wrong in the public eye. But when we get behind closed doors, we're gonna talk about the situation, how we should have handled it. That was how you should have handled it, but wasn't. But I'm not gonna blow my woman's spot up, whether she's right or wrong, in the public to embarrass her. That doesn't show a sign of a united front. And sometimes we do that as men and as women, as couples, husbands, wives, boyfriend, girlfriend, fiancés, whatever you want to call it. But we have to destroy and kill those past behavior patterns. And see, here's the thing. Your behavior patterns in the past, they don't have to be astronomically bad. It can be your attitude in the past, it's in your present, and it's in destroying your future. How mouthy you is in the past, and it's in your presence, destroying your future. Your communication sucked in the past, but it's in your present, it's going to destroy your future. Being unforgiving in the past is in your presence, going to destroy your future. Holding grudges in your past is in your presence, going to destroy your future. See, being bitter and keeping a tally of wrongs and being difficult and saying what I ain't going to do, not wanting to, all the things that you're supposed to do, but you're not doing. And this is vice versa with guys, because some guys are bitter. Some guys are unforgiving. Some guys do hold grudges. I know, I used to be one of those dudes. But you have to mentally mature over years to make changes and realize, look at the man in the mirror. Look, hold on, Sean. Where you perfect at, brother? My mom had to call me out, man. My mom called me out one day. She said, where you perfect at? Where are you perfect at, Sean? So if you are perfect at no place in your life, who are you to, now y'all can say what y'all want, because y'all got y'all reason for being unforgiving and bitter and resentful. Listen, man, that's between you and the big man upstairs. It's only he can change that bad negative narrative, which causing you trouble in your present. It's going to cause you more trouble in your future. You ain't going to keep nothing if you refuse to change your old past behavior patterns. You ain't going to get better. Your ceiling going to be the floor. That's the same reason why people can't get their body right. Because they keep resorting to things in the past. And you get the best indicator of future behavior is that of past behavior. You got to kill that past behavior. If you do not kill your past behavior patterns, it's going to destroy everything in your future and in your present. And that's the problem. I tell people it's the biggest problem. People refuse to acknowledge their old past. Listen, you're going to come across that dude that's going to be like, listen, whatever you did with them other cats, that's not going to work here, man. We're going to be forgiving over here. We ain't holding grudges with each other over here. We ain't even going to bed angry with each other over here. We ain't going to be how you be in a house with somebody for a whole month and not say nothing to them, but you write notes? You mean to tell me grown men and grown women are out here, people out here doing this, man? This is crazy. I heard that story today. I'm like, what? I've done some dumb stuff in my life. Dumb, stupid, pathetic things in my lifetime. That right there, a whole month, there ain't no way I could be in a month. How be in a house with my woman for a whole month and we ain't talking? Huh? Here's the clicker. She was fixing old boy food and everything, and they still not talking. Man, come on, make that make sense. This is how ridiculous our world has gotten. I was in a conversation and they said something, and it was so true. They said pretty much, and I couldn't disagree with them. They said so social media. Oh my God, man. On my mama, on my mom's, on my mom's and my dad's son. I hate social media. I do not like it. If I didn't have a business, I wouldn't be on social media, period. Period. Probably do my podcast with my homie Brandon and probably do mine. That's by making posts. No, none of that. None of that. Social media, man. Social media is so fake that y'all literally think it's real. It's like Brandon said, man, social media, all they do is post their highlights. It's like a highlight reel. You ever seen a sports highlight reel? They show it all. They show the highlights of all the good plays, the great plays, the magical plays, the 1 second shots behind, right at the buzzer beater. Those type plays. That's what people do on social media. I just said, let me go back to the beginning. I just said I was a liar. I was a cheater. I was a manipulator. I lived 2 lives. I destroyed things. I was messed up. Nobody don't want to talk about that, though. They ain't owning that. They ain't saying that. But people like to give a fake front that they got all the answers. Life is perfect. Life is heaven on earth. No, it's not, man. If you in this life, got money or don't, life ain't heaven on earth. If you in this life, there's always some bullshiggity that you're going to be dealing with. If it was heaven on earth, it's not. Man, there's people that's got everything. Just money just coming out the anus. Miserable. Money is good to have. We need it. Boy, Lord knows we need it. We do. You can have everything, man. I've had it. Everything. And be dead miserable. Just miserable. You know why? Because happiness is an inside job. And if you're not working on the inside job of you, you ain't never going to be happy. No matter who you got, who's in your life, how much money you got, how many properties you got. You can just travel, blah, 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 blah. You're going to be faking the fun. But man, if you're not happy on the inside, you can't fake that, man. Because it's an inside job. You know how I know happiness is an inside job? You have people who have everything and actually just take themselves up out of here. You know, social media frowns upon the word, the S word. So I just going to say take themselves up out of here. Got everything. They out of there. Got everything. Money, property, houses, cars, clothes, jewelry. They got everything out of there. Just take themselves straight up out of here. Yeah, man, it's real. It's real. It's real, but you got to figure out and got to understand, going back to the topic, the human mind is something else, man. The human mind can have everything and still be miserable. You got to understand, in order to have a better present and a future, you have to go back to the past to see what was your part in it. What did you do wrong? And like I said, even with your body, if you bring that past attitude into the present, that's not going to work, man. Because you're going to run across the wrong person. You're going to run across the right person. And they're going to nip it in the bud day one. And they're going to let you know how that's going to go. You're going to run across that real dude that's going to be like, listen, with all due respect, I understand, I empathize and sympathize with what you've been through in the past, but that past attitude that you had, that's not gonna work. We can't work that way. We gonna respect each other. We gonna talk. We gonna communicate. We gonna work things out. We ain't going days on end without speaking to each other. No, we gonna do things different, and we gonna appreciate each other. We're not gonna take each other for granted. We gonna make time for each other. We gonna spend some time together. We gonna do things together to help our bond to grow stronger. Yeah, we gonna go to the gym together sometimes. Yeah, we gonna meal prep together sometimes. Yeah, we gonna sit at the house and just watch movies on Netflix or Hulu or the more whack Tubi movies they be having with that bad acting. I mean, we gonna sit and joke. We gonna have a couple of drinks together. Hell, we sometimes we may even get zooted together. But the bottom line is we gonna do things different than we did do in the previous relationships and marriages that we had. But one thing we not gonna do, and this is a non-negotiable, we ain't judging each other for nothing. Judgments brings resentment. Judgments brings bitterness. Judgments brings unforgiveness. Judgments bring grudges. And these same people who doing all this judging are so disrespectful. How you want respect when you are constantly disrespectful? That's not how that works. That's not how that works. If you don't want to deal with me because I'm not going to tolerate your disrespect, I don't care if you're family, friends, loved ones, whatever. That's fine, man. Because I got more people. I got people, man, that are way more important than you. But we don't even talk. So if you think that's not going to hurt me, man, I've been through so many things that I'm impenetrable. I'm pretty much impenetrable to hurt because I've been through so much hurt, loss, pain, this, that, this. Jails, locked up, looking at 30 years. Okay, man, I've been through it. I've been through it all. So if you don't want to speak to me and deal with me, you hurting yourself, you're not hurting me. It's not even bothering me. I'm unbothered. Once I don't care, you ain't got to worry about me. I ain't even thinking about you. You are an afterthought. But once I start to care, now you got a whole problem. Now it's going to be an issue. But once I turn off that care switch to non-caring, you ain't got to worry about it, man. We ain't got nothing to talk about. We straight. I ain't got no problem with you. You made yourself an enemy of me. I don't make myself an enemy of people. You know why? Because I'm forgiving because that's how my mother raised me. I don't make myself an enemy of people because I'm not resentful because my mom taught me not to be that way. I'm not making myself an enemy of nobody because my mom taught me it's not good to hold grudges. They consume you. I'm not making myself an enemy, being resentful and bitter and all this stuff because my mom raised me and talked to me and taught me not to be that way because those things are like cancers that corrupt you. And what they do, they can destroy your mental psyche. I don't make enemies out of people. People make themselves enemies when it comes to me. I ain't got no beef with you, Smooth. Because my mom always taught me in the midst of stupidity and ignorance, always set the example and teach them how they should move. Teach them how they should act. Teach them how they should resolve things. Teach them what forgiving is like. Teach them what's not holding the grudges looks like. Teach them what not being bitter is like. Teach them what's not being resentful is like. Because I got enough common sense and logic to realize people aren't robots and people are just human. See, once you realize that people are just human, you can get off your unrealistic moral horse with your unrealistic moral compass and realize people are perfectly imperfect. They're not always going to do the right things, say the right things, act the right way. You got to accept people and move on. I'm not going to destroy something that is very important to me because of ego and pride, because I'm unforgiving, because I'm holding a grudge. You can hold it. The only person losing in life is the person that's holding. The only person that loses in life are unforgiving people. You're the one that's losing, not the person that's doing the opposite of you. unforgiving. You the person that's losing, not that person. When you have a mature mindset, you have to show immature people how it is to move in life. And you really think you're hurting them. You like, dude, you couldn't even walk a week in my shoes. You don't know. You're not hurting me. I'm laughing. I'll see you. You be trying to know, man, like, yo, what's up, man? Good to see you. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be one of them. Because I ain't got nothing against you. All the crap that I've done in my life, I'm holding something against you. I have no place to hold nothing against nobody. I have no place to be unforgiving towards nobody. Grudges, bitterness, resentment, I ain't got no place to hold that. What? No. Because if that dude that wakes me up every morning, sits high and looks low, forgives me, I don't care if none of you forgive me. I don't care if none of you talk to me. It don't bother me. I was raised the right way. And thank God for a mother who kept us in church so they can really teach us. And my mother had a saying. She said, there's forgiveness and then there's true forgiveness. Woo! That thing right there is powerful. There's forgiveness and true forgiveness. She said that forgiveness, it's a facade. It's fake. Because you know why? They're going to throw it up in your face later. When they get angry, they're going to throw it up in the face. When they get drunk, they're going to throw it up in your face. When they feelings about something, they're going to throw it up in your face. Argument, whatever. They're going to constantly keep throwing it up in your face. But she said true forgiveness never brings up the matter ever again. That's how I live. Because you know what, man? I don't want to be holding nothing over your head. But you know what? Reason I forgive people, because I know what it's like not to be forgiven. Let me repeat that. The reason why I'm so forgiving is because I know what it feels like to not be forgiven. And then Gwen broke down the reasons of why you should forgive. Gwen also broke down the reasons of how men's and women's mindsets are differently. Men get aggravated with women based off how they think, and women get aggravated with men based off how they think. But at the end of the day, if we can't come to the table and have a common agreement and a common bond, realize, like, listen, you a man, I'm a woman, we think differently. Sean, you think off logic and common sense. I think off emotions, if I'm going to be honest as a woman. This is how the conversation should go. You call your man sensitive, you call him this, but I heard a brother say, if he can't be sensitive with you, who can he be sensitive around? The woman at work? If he can't be sensitive with you, the one on the street? If he can't be vulnerable with you, the woman at work? That's who he can be vulnerable with, the woman on the street? See, where he can't be with you, the cleanup woman gonna come and snatch him right from your dead ass. Because he can't be these things with you. Society has messed up women so much. They talk like men, they act like men. And what you got to understand, dude, I've been hard all my life. Being hard is being tough, hard, and it's just, it's just a part of who I am. It's exhausting as hell sometimes. I don't want to come home to no woman talking like some dude. I might as well get a dude. Moving like a dude, I might as well be a dude. Non-empathetic, non-sympathetic, I might as well get a guy. Having dick measuring contests and you got a vagina, man, I might as well be with a dude. I need to have the opposite of my hardness. I just do. I need to have that loving, man. That loving, attentive. That softness. Because the things that I'm carrying around, it's exhausting. But I gotta come home I'm coming home to the mirror of me. I don't want that, man. I don't want that, man. I don't want that. Give me the sweetest thing ever. Dude, I don't want to. Why every time we say something, you always got to have the last word? I might as well, come on, man. God dang, you can't shut up. That mouthiness, the best indicator of future behavior is that of past behavior. That same mouthiness has ran every freaking dude away from you. We can say whatever we want. But them past behavior patterns, I see why you was always a bridesmaid and never the bride. Like my mom say, Sean, you can say to me a million times, I say, Mom, I've been breaking up with women. Sean, they've been broke up with you. They broke up with you mentally a long time ago. Just because you verbally said the word don't mean that they weren't mentally checked out. Ladies, just because you say you done broke up with all these dudes, they broke up with you a long time ago because they ain't even acting right. They already mentally checked out. Sometimes we need to rewind the tape of our past behavior patterns. And if you look at those patterns, dude, if everybody is acting up, there's something that you doing or ain't doing. And sometimes we don't. I get it. Self-examinations and those gut checks from the neck up. I get it. Nobody wants to do that. No one wants to come to grips with the man or woman in the mirror. I get that. Because that self-examination is a hard gut check. And that's something that Gwen, my mother, had to teach me. She said, boy, you think you everything is sliced bread. Yeah, you breaking up with these women, but Sean ain't acting right because you ain't doing what you're supposed to be doing. They love you to death, Sean. Yeah, because they really want to be with you. But Sean, man, why you acting like you a walk in the park? It's coming from my mom, man. So, Sean, you got to understand parts of a man, you got to understand you have to be patient with her because she thinks different from you. She's got to understand she got to be patient with you because you think different from her. You can't always get in your feelings just because you can't have your way and you sulking and you pouting and you being non-responsive, non-communicative, all because y'all had a pissy disagreement. Disagreements is a part of the relationship, man. You're not always going to agree with everything. She's not always going to see eye to eye with your brother. He's not always going to see eye to eye with your sister. But y'all can always come to the middle to reach some type of common ground. And if you're not talking to each other, oh man, you're dead in the water because you have a huge communication gap. The human mind is so different when it comes to men and women. Some women say, if you cheat, I'm done. I get it. You know what? Okay, that's fine. I don't believe if people make mistakes that there can be no sense of redemption. And I guess that's where the forgiveness of me comes into. I've been cheated on and I've cheated. I've been on both sides of it. I've been cheated on and I've cheated. I've been cheated in so badly. I was in the military, walked into my woman's, I don't know if they still call barracks in the Army, but I walked into, I want to say my woman at the time, she worked in, I don't know if she was in administration or she was in the medical unit, but I walked into her unit, the door was ajar, opened the door and they was going at it. He was taking her to Pleasure Town. So when you visually see that with your own eyes, you would think mentally it'll mess you up. I was young, but I knew where I stood. I knew I was property of the government. So on the cool, I was real cool. I literally sat there because her girlfriend, because it was a 2-room place. Her girlfriend had a lazy boy. So I just sat in that lazy boy, and the lazy boy was real quiet. And I leaned back like this. I guess you could call me, I was having a voyeur's moment. And I sat there and I actually watched it. I said, man, dude doing a pretty good job. I was that calm. I just came, now here's the thing. I just come from, we wasn't deployed, but we was in the, field artillery units you call going to the field. Sometimes we go to the field for a while, a couple of weeks, sometimes a month or two, whatever. Be gone. So I sat there, and I think I had tapped on the floor, and they jumped. They both jumped up. I said, "Whoa, whoa, whoa. This on my mom's." I was so calm. That was the scary part. I think because I wasn't reacting. But as I was watching him stroke my woman down, I started thinking, how did I get in this situation? How did this happen? Now, I'm not going to mention her name because she was in the military too. I'm just going to say she was born and raised in Atlanta. We met because when you get ready to go off to boot camp and all that stuff or whatever, you have to go through. At the time when I was in, you had to go to a place and you had to stay there, you had to do all these different types of things before you actually went to the actual. We met there, and so you actually go to your boot camp unit, and she was cool people, man. But as I'm sitting there watching this dude stroke my woman, and I was just like, how did it get to this point? And I started replaying that I wasn't spending time with her. I was hanging out with the fellas more. I was in the clubs more. She wanted to do things with her. I never did things. I never wanted to do anything with her. I just kind of was just like, we get together and, whatever, and do a little this, do a little like that. You know what I'm saying? And a part of me is like, maybe I was just using her for sex. I don't know what it was. But I was very young at the time. So at the time I couldn't process, but I did have enough common sense to realize part of this situation that's happening is my fault. And I'm going to tell you why, because I was neglecting her. I heard a lady say one time, there's 2 reasons why people cheat. People cheat because they get themselves caught up in a situation that they can't get themselves out of. But they kind of stray because they're not getting attention, neglect, all different types of reasons. Then you got some people who just don't give a crap. They just cheat because they're just narcissistic and psychopaths, and they just don't care nothing about nobody. They have disregard of people's feelings or whatever. I think I was both of those cheaters back in my time. I was both. I did cheating on both of those sides. You know what I'm saying? Because I was just a selfish bastard. If I'm being honest, I cheated because I was selfish. I was selfish as hell. Selfish as hell, immature, whatever the case may be, had a nosy penis, all the 9 yards. You can say whatever you want to think or whatever. I did that. I'm never going to be the guy that comes to the table meeting a woman. Hey, I got this halo over my head. I just, I ain't never done nothing wrong. I got my T's crossed and my eyes. No, man, I messed up just like you messed up. We all messed up in some form or fashion. We just a refurbished version of our mess ups. We recycle. You know what I'm saying? So it's the confessions of a modern day dog, I guess, because that's what I was. I just didn't give. I ain't give a damn about nothing but nobody. I was just selfish. I just wanted mine. How I can get mine and do what I want to do. And I was only sorry when I got caught. That's just being honest. That's just being honest, because let's be honest, people ain't really sorry until they get caught. And once they get caught, now they sorry. No, Joker, you only sorry because you got caught. Because as you was doing it, it was nothing sorry. None of those strokes, grabbing them on that big old ass, big old tick old bitties. It was nothing sorry when you was going through the process of those moments, cheating on your woman or cheating on your dude. If we're being honest. So I'm reformed. I'm a reformed dog. I guess, there's such a term. But as I'm sitting there in that moment, now I was real petty when I did this. I shouldn't have done this. But I guess, dude, he knew of me on the base. He was in the military too, so I seen him a couple of times in the NCO club, whatever the case may be. So I'll put 2 and 2 together when I recognize his face. Boy went to grab his clothes. I said, no. No, 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 no. You gonna walk out of that room naked, and I'm gonna throw your clothes at you piece by piece. I don't know how that situation actually, unraveled out there. But I threw him his clothes piece by piece. But he sat out there for a minute while I was talking to a girl. She crying. I was like, listen, I ain't finna. I said, listen, I ain't finna throw my military career. I ain't finna put my hands on you, girl. I ain't even built that way. I ain't finna put my hands on you. I ain't finna. I ain't finna ball up my fist and punch your lights. I'm not finna do that. No, 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 no. I need this career to work. So I said, so just tell me why you did it. And every reason that I thought about as I watched this dude stroking my woman down, that's exactly what she told me. The neglect, no attention. I like didn't care. I didn't love her. Every time I brought something to her, she would, I was blowing her off. I never called her. I never checked in on her. I just act like she was a piece of, a pound of flesh, pretty much. And so I evaluated that situation, and I was like, I took ownership and I took responsibility. Do we ever take ownership and responsibility when something goes wrong between us in our relationships or marriages, or do we just use something else as a scapegoat? Do we just gloss over it? Do we really take ownership of things? So I sat there and I was like, all right. And she said, Sean, what you want to do? I said, listen, man, I really don't know. I said, but I can't get mad at you because I feel as if I'm the reason that this actually happened. I neglected the hell out of you. You're right. I did. She's like, I still want to be with you. I said, give me a couple of days. Let me just think. And I just processed. I ain't tell nobody about it. Now this is a story I ain't told nobody. I ain't tell my brother. I ain't call my mom. I ain't. Hell no, man. I'm too embarrassed, man. I ain't gonna talk about it. I waited years. I waited 20-something years to talk about this because I talked about it a couple of years ago. I'm gonna say about 3-4 years ago, and I talked about it again just recently, and I'm talking about it again a third time. But yeah, that has happened. That has happened. I've been cheated on. I've done some cheating. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is, man. But we have to take ownership and responsibility of where we are. But we also have to realize, as men, as women, we do think different. It's okay for us to have different perspectives, but we ain't got to hate each other for it. We ain't got to dislike each other for it. We ain't got to be resentful or hold grudges and be bitter because we think differently. Imagine if I'm a man and everything you thought of as a woman, I thought just like you. When you're going through your women stuff, being emotional, then I'm being emotional just like you. Imagine having, ladies, think about this now. Imagine having a man having the same emotions you have. They thought just like you. They moved just like you. They had so many feminine ways just like you. Now, if you want an alpha male, would you be attracted to that? No. I'll say it for you. Most of you would not be attracted to that. And I get it. But what we have to understand as men and women, that the design for us to be different is to come together for a common purpose. Sometimes women have to be the teachers and the man has to be the student. And other times the man has to be the teacher and the woman has to be the student. See, we got to intellectually learn from each other. And if we can't intellectually learn to each other, my mom always said the right woman can bring out the right things out of any man. Yeah. But she's got to be the right one. Mm-hmm. He'll want to do right because he's like, man, I can't lose that. That's the best chick I ever had. Yeah, she a whole problem, but she the best chick I ever. She's worth it at the end of the day. But even on her worst day, she's better than anything I've ever had. On her worst day. And she has her moments. Does she get on my nerves? God damn, yes. And does he get on her nerves? Yeah. It's going to happen. It's inevitable. We men and women, we gonna get on each other's nerves. But what we have to do, we have to come together and realize that I can't bring my past behavior into this current situation because we ain't gonna never have a future off that. And see, you have to make change in order for things to be different. You can't keep doing the same things in every relationship you have and expect the different results. That is insanity. That is crazy. You are psychotic and a tad bit detached from reality if you think your old past behavior patterns, that mouth ain't gonna work in this present situation. I'm sorry, it's not. Don't you see what being mouthy has got you? That's like, don't you see by doing what you want with your body has got you out of shape? It's the same analogy. You have to make changes. In life, you have to change for the better. You're constantly adjusting and readjusting and adjusting and readjusting. That's changing. But if you are that stubborn, that hard-headed, that prideful, that egotistical, well, expect the same thing. Rolled hard and thrown up wet. That's all you're gonna have by the end of the time. By the time you get about late your 50s and 60s, you're just gonna be somebody who's been rolled hard and thrown up wet. There's nothing, now you ain't got no substance. You just used and washed the hell up. Why? Because you refuse. You could have been married 10 times over, but you refuse to change your past behavior patterns. Brothers, take it from me, man. If you don't change that pridefulness, see, us men, we are prideful and egotistical. Whoa, so is women. But bro, we so bad, we don't even want a woman telling us what direction we want to go. I mean, we don't want to listen to her suggestions because we ain't got no faith in her. But then we want her to have faith in us. See, man, if your mindsets, men and women, ain't reciprocal, that's a whole your mindsets ain't reciprocal. You ain't patient with each other. You're not communicating. And you're judging each other. And you're keeping a tally about everything the person does wrong or right or what you do for them. And you're unforgiving. Man, you got a laundry list of things that you did in your all past relationships. Now you're in the present and you wonder why the problems in that present, why it's rocky now. And you ain't gonna be able to build no future. You can't build no future off of that. Man, as long as you judging each other, your relationship is built off sticks and straws. And it's gonna blow over the slightest problem or issue. The big bad wolf of problems, situations, circumstances, and issues gonna come and huff and puff and blow that house built on sticks and straws all the way down. But when you have a relationship that you communicate, you accept each other for where you are. Y'all been battling with things and y'all overcome the things that would break the normal people. Now you know you got you something special. She could tell you anything. You don't look at her different tomorrow. He could tell you anything and says she don't look at you different tomorrow. She ain't trying to change you. You ain't trying to change her. Y'all trying to support each other. Y'all got each other's back. It's y'all against the world, no matter who comes against you. And you building it every day, every week, every month, every year, brick by brick by brick. Now when the big bad wolf of problems, situations, circumstances, and issues come up, it's going to huff and puff and blow, and it's going to have an aneurysm because that house ain't going nowhere, and it can huff and puff and blow, huff, puff, and blow, huff, puff, and blow. Ain't nothing happening because the foundation is built off brick. And you're forgiving each other, man. And here's the beautiful thing. He or she is not afraid to say, I'm sorry. He or she is not afraid to say, I forgive you. He or she will say, listen, baby, you ain't perfect. He or she will say, listen, we ain't going to bed angry. He or she will say, look, I'm going to blow your behind up until you answer this phone. We going to talk. He or she gonna say, which probably gets on her man's nerves, I just called and say I love you. Y'all just had a blown up on that argument. You can't do nothing but laugh even when you're mad when that happens. You know what I'm saying? She loves you so much, bro. Her love is bigger and outweighs any problem, situation, circumstance, issue, disagreement, argument that you may have. Her love for you is that strong and that big, and that, I mean, it's like a twin tower of height. She loves you more than she loves the problem. She ain't looking for no way out. She's not looking for no loophole. She's in it to win it. She supports you in every possible way. Even when you ain't got it, she got it. She was raised differently. Her mother her mother spoke things into her. She watched how her mother talked. She watched her mother act. Her mother breathed good things into her. She was in the kitchen learning how to cook with her mom. Her mom taught her old school philosophies. She's Old Testament. 90% of her is Old Testament, old school. Only 10% of her is like dash with a little modern. Because she wanted to go get an education, she went and got it. She's a boss on the job, so she's doing it. So that's the modern part of her. But she's 90% old school. She's not the chick that be wanting to eat out every day. She ain't trying to break your pockets, bro. She trying to build with you, homie. There's a difference, man. And my mother always said there's a difference between little girls and real women. Real women and little girls, they dialect and verbiage ain't even the same. Real men and little boys, they dialect ain't the same. They speak a different language. That dude gonna change his schedule to be at you, whatever doctor's appointment you got. That dude gonna send you I love yous, and you done been with that dude 3, 4, 5 years. He's still chasing you around the house like, he trying to get you. He's still acting like you ain't his. He still flirt with you. You in the kitchen, he can't keep his hands off you. Sending you poetry, sending you this, checking on you throughout the day. Sending you pictures and writing about how fine I love this woman or whatever. And you looking at the picture, that's me. This dude sent me pictures of me. Talking about me. You ain't got to go to bed at night worrying about where he at, worrying about where you stand with this dude. You could go out of town and FaceTime this dude anytime. He gonna pick up the phone and be like, instead of saying, why you calling me? You should be hanging out with your girls or whatever. That joker saying that because he out doing whatever because you is out of town. How I know this? Because I used to be that dude. I'm just being honest. Oh, she going for the weekend. Oh, man. Let me give you some side chick alert. Side chick alert. I mean, she FaceTimed me 30 times. She ain't get me not once. I ain't picking up the phone, calling like 3, 4, 5 hours later. Come on, man. Women ain't stupid. God instills something in them, which is an intuition, man. They already know the evidence. They got the evidence against you. They just want the confession. You might as well just tell the truth. You got a better chance to keep her than win her back if you're just being honest. Trust me, I have lied and lost because they had all the evidence. I have lied and lost. So now I'm so truthful and honest. I'm like, man, she got me dead to the right. I'm in her crosshairs. Boy, that infrared light is on my forehead. I surrender. That infrared light, boop, 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 it's all over me. And she gonna light me up the minute I lie. So I don't lie no more. I tell the truth, no matter how painful it is, man. I tell the truth, man. You have to. You're gonna have a better chance when you be honest. But I gotta understand her mindset is different from mine. So I gotta be a little bit more patient with her. Even through my frustrations, I gotta be patient. My agitation, my irritation with her, I gotta be patient. And I even got to be patient because she done been through some stuff in her past. I got to be patient. But guess what, man? You got to do the same thing, sis, about that brother. You got to be patient with him because he got a past too. And y'all are fighting not to bring in your past behavior patterns. See, once them past behavior patterns start creeping in, you got to destroy them bad boys. You got to blow them things up. Because if you allow past behavior patterns to creep into your present, it's going to infiltrate and destroy your present and whatever possible future you can have with this person. The best indicator of future behavior is those things are past behavior. That's why you have to kill those past behavior patterns off. If you was a mouthy woman in the past, guess what? That's not going to work for your present or your future. Guess what? Because guess what? Maybe that's one of the reasons why he left. Brother, if you was a non-communicative, not communicating with that woman, your past 6 relationship, that's not gonna work in the present because she gonna want to talk about it. You can't go to bed angry with this chick. She don't do that. That ain't the move. She want to talk. We all gonna rectify that situation before y'all lay y'all heads down. So you have no choice in life but to change. If you refuse to change, you refuse to grow. If you refuse to change, you refuse to have more. If you refuse to change, you refuse to have more prosperity. If you refuse to change, that stubbornness, that pride, and that ego, you're going to have to get somebody new and lie to them and fake with them. And then they find out where you are. Boom, you're in the same situation on marriage number 4. All we got to do is drop the pride, drop the ego, and change our past behavior patterns so they don't infiltrate in our present and destroy what future we can actually have. Understand, we different. We different. We got to move different. No. I'm not dating in the public like I did those last 6, 7 relationships. I'm dating in private so we can build in private, so we succeed in private. We build our fortress so strong in private. They may think they know, but they don't know. And then by the time we go exclusive, no matter what you say or what you do, that thing is built brick by brick, baby. Ain't nothing you can do, baby. So when you try to come at them, they laughing at you. Baby, look what this past heifer that you used to deal with sent me. And they sitting there laughing at her. And she's sending me stuff too. And I'm sending her stuff too. I'm like, and we sitting there laughing at her. You know why we laughing? We laughing, we gonna have a drink, and then we finna do some work in the bedroom. We laughing. They miserable. Because you from the past and you trying to infiltrate. But guess what? Whatever reason y'all broke up or whatever the case may be, do not get mad when they gave somebody that spot that they was trying to give you, but you was being prideful and difficult. You acted like you all that in a bag of chips. Now look at you. All I'm saying is this, man. The human minds of men and women are extremely different. But just because we are different and just because we see or feel things in a different way, don't mean that we can't coexist. It doesn't mean that we can't work out anything. My grandmother and my mother had a theory. Any problem in the world can be worked out if 2 people want to work them out. Normally, there's a person who is tired and they want to quit and give up, and you got somebody who wants to fight for it, and the other person who just want to give up. They just want to move on and do something else. But this other person is fighting, and then later on they realize, like, man, it ain't nothing out there, and then they want to try to come back and play games and stuff like that. Man, that's not how life works, man. That's not how life works. Don't fall for the okie doke, man. If it's in the past, leave it there. It's in the past for a reason. Going back to the past is like a dog going back to its vomit. Imagine throwing up 2 years ago and you going back to that throw up. You're going right back to that vomit. Imagine how that vomit tastes. First of all, it's just a nasty thought within itself. But imagine throwing up and then going back to eat your vomit. That's what it's like going back to the past. If it didn't work out, Why are you going back to somebody who leaves you in a battle on the battlefield all by yourself? Yeah, they ain't even showing you that you worthy enough for the fight. They ain't fighting for you. They love being unforgiving towards you than fighting for you. They love being resentful towards you than fight for you. They love being bitter towards you than fighting for you. They don't care nothing about you. They just want to be right, and they just want to play victim. Because if they really cared anything about you, they're gonna push the pride aside and ego aside. People will go and settle for less and be constantly stalking in silent that person who got away, the person that they weren't even fighting for. Why you care what they got going on, and you ain't fight for them, but you in the shadows trying to cause trouble, like they don't know it's you, dude. Like they don't know it's you, man. Come on, man. Who else could it be? It's always some bitter person from your past trying to stir up shit. Always, always, always. Talking out their behinds, making up stuff that ain't even there. That's what people do. But they had an opportunity to get this dude or to get that woman back. They want to be mad. Anything between a man or woman can be worked out, like my mom and grandma said, if both of them choose to work it out. There's not a problem between a man and woman that can't be solved, that can't be rectified, that can't be fixed. But don't get mad when you quit, threw in the towel, threw them away like it was Alabama trash, and then you want to come back when they got somebody else new in the seat. Better looking, better job, higher education. I mean, everything's better. They communicate more, the sex is better, everything's better. You think they're going to go back to you? No. With this new thing, when they have problems, they talk about it. With this new thing, when they have issues, they talk about it. With this new thing, there's forgiveness. With this new thing, there's no resentment and grudges. With this new thing, there's no going to bed angry. With this new thing, today's problem ain't going to be tomorrow's issue. See, it's different. They was trying to create that with you, trying to teach you how to be forgiving, but no, you rather hold a grudge. Every time there was an argument, you throwing up old stuff. I'm like, man, god dang, you keep going back what I did a couple of years ago. I can't even get no redemption. So you still holding me. That's why you moving funny with me. And you get tired of getting beat down about a wrong that you did, but you said you forgave me. But every time you get the notion and the opportunity, you throw it up in my face. But you love me. You forgave me. True forgiveness is never bringing up the matter ever again based off Gwen's words, which is my mother. That fake forgiveness gonna throw it up in your face every opportunity it gets. And that's how you expose yourself that you never even forgave the person. You never got over the situation. You just exposed yourself. Now you're a liar. But you don't like when people lie. You've been lying for months and years talking about you forgave me, but you throw it up. Every time you lie and say you forgave a person, but you throw it up in their face, you are a compulsive, bona fide liar. Spin it however you want to, you're a liar. So you don't, no, that's not how that works. Men are different from women, and women are different from men for a design purpose. So y'all can come together and create balance. So you can learn from each other. That's just how it's designed. The big man upstairs took a rib from Adam, made Eve to be his help, his support, his loyal system. Her attitude is, baby, if you ain't got it, I got it. That's her whole attitude. Baby, if you lost everything today, man, when she tell you in your face what I bet now, baby, if you lost everything today, we gonna figure it out. I ain't gonna look at you no different. See, she ain't with the modern day chicks. They just go from dude to dude collecting shit. Because that's what society has programmed them. Society is setting up women for failure. You ain't nothing but a high profile prostitute out here talking about that you special. Sweetheart, you're not. Until you change that mental narrative, you ain't nothing but a bona fide hoe that ain't on Phillips Highway. I mean, you can say what you want. Bro, you're a piece of crap, man, until you change your narrative, man, and be like, hey, man, you got to get rid of, man. I don't care if you got to see a therapist about that nosy penis, bro. You gotta change that narrative around, homie. But I can't judge you because hell, man, I've done the same shit. Majority of my life, so I can't judge you. But you got to have some type of self-control. You got to have some type of self-control. And fellas, when you mess up, man, take it from me. Just own it. Just own it. She already know the truth, man. It pays to just own it. He said, listen, man, baby, I messed up. I screwed up. Whatever I got to do to make the right is wrong. Yeah, I screwed up. I'm not, because the more you lie to her, the more pissed off she gonna get. And you pushing her further and further and further and further away. And sometimes you'll push her so far away by you just constant lying. Now she at a point of no return. You got to understand, ladies, there's some good dudes out here. Fellas, you got to understand there's still some good women out here. They ain't on that society BS, man. They ain't on that new age shit out here, man. Some women out here don't even, no. They don't believe in showing their ass and everything they got, but then want a man to treat them right with respect. Now, they don't even live by that freaking narrative. They saving that for that dude. There's some dudes out here, man, ladies that ain't showing everything they got just to get attention and, for that damn clickbait. Y'all out here clickbaiting, man. Fellas, don't fall for the clickbait. Ladies, don't fall for the clickbait. If you don't know what clickbait is, look it up. Doing things for clicks and for likes. No, man, ain't clickbaiting. No, ain't clickbait. See me out here I see me posting pictures in my tidy whities. No, y'all can have that, man. Bro, you doing a little bit too much, man. Hey, I ain't got to take my shirt off to tell you that I'm working out. If you can't see that I work out right, I got to get butt naked for you to see. No, man, that's clickbait. That's clickbait action. Hey, do whatever you got to do for them clicks and them likes. But I ain't out here clickbait. I be laughing like, ooh, that dude out there clickbait. Ooh, baby girl out there clickbait. Clickbait like a mofo. I'm sorry, I ain't with that clickbait entourage. I'm sorry. Hey man, it's funny to me, man. I'm like, hey, it's jokes. It's just for grins. I mean, all I'm saying is that, man, if you are part of that clickbait narrative, hey, knock yourself out, man. I ain't knocking your hustle. Do your thing. But that clickbait gonna come back to bite you in the ass. I'm just saying. I ain't out here with that clickbait, man. I can't get down with the clickbait. It ain't that serious to me. It's just not that serious to me to get the clickbait. I'm sorry, man. And some people are on that, man. I get it. Whatever side hustle you got on social media, man, got to take clothes off, man. Got stuff right all up your ass, titties out, everything out, I mean, bro, you tiny whities, man, trying to show you print and all that stuff, what I'm saying, shirt off, got that oil glistening all over your body. I mean, man, what else you gotta do, man? Hey, man, I ain't knocking your hustle. I ain't got no beef with you, Smooth. I ain't got no beef with you, man. Hey, man, I ain't got no beef. All I'm saying is clickbait is not for me. I'm sorry. I work out hard, man. I ain't doing nothing with my shirt off out in this joint. No. I got a whole door out in this joint, man. No. I ain't doing none of that, man. To me, that's doing. If I got to do that for me, I ain't knocking nobody else. I'm Sean doing way too much. So I mean, man, it's just never been my thing. I ain't no attention whore, man. I ain't never been that dude. If Gwen was here to tell you, he's like, no, he gonna sit far in the back. He want to fly up on the radio. My son lives by the code. The less you know about me, the better it is for him. That's the code I live by. The less you know about me, the better it is for me. You know what I'm saying? The way you want to get to know me, we're going to have to be here face to face, having a conversation over coffee or whatever. That's how you're going to get to know me, man. You ain't going to get to know shit on social media because I'm giving you bits and pieces. Pieces and bits. That's it, man. Kibbles and bits. That's all you get, man. But to get to know him, man, you got to be in front of that dude. You got to have some face-to-face interaction with that guy. That's how you get to know people. You don't get to know people through social media, man. You get bits and pieces, man. Bits and pieces. A lot of y'all know some of my dirt, man, because I always talk about my cheating line and all that other shit. Hey, man, there's a doghouse, and I'm up under the doghouse. I was horrible, man. Was I that bad? Yeah, I was real bad. I'm just being honest with it, man. I'm not one of those guys who paint no perfect picture to you, man. I did everything right. I treat women like queens. The hell I say, no, I didn't, man. I was a piece of shit. So imagine if people on social media be that real and honest instead of painting a perfect picture. Realize at the end of the day, I know it's a bunch of jokes, man, but realize at the end of the day, men and women are different. But fellas, we need our women, man. And women, y'all need us. We have to right the ship of what society and social media is doing to keep that wedge between us, man. Because that's not what the big man upstairs designed, man. We're supposed to be together working in perfect harmony. No matter what goes wrong or what doesn't go right or whatever the case may be, we make it work, man. We gonna make it work. No matter how it looks, we're going to make it work. We're going to figure it out. But we got to figure, man, listen, man. In the words of Neo and Fabulous, I'm a movement by myself, but I'm a force when we together. Baby, I'm good all by myself. But with you, you make me better. So my thing about it is we can do so much. Two heads is always going to be better than just one. We can climb so much together, man. Because we bring our mental resources together, man. We can keep climbing. We can keep climbing. Because our mental resources, man, we both educated. Oh, man, we can rock. Because we got the intellect to make things happen. Even when there's nothing. We are both the table. And we're going to capitalize from that point to the next point. But that's all I got, man. Listen, I'll start judging people once I'm perfect too. That clickbait, man. That clickbait funny, man. Click, click, lights. All right, man. Let me get off that clickbait, but man, I'll start judging people once I'm perfect too. But since this brother is in no danger, as you obviously can see, because I'm gonna own my shit. I'm gonna own all my BS, man. I really don't care what people think or whatever. It is what it is, because man, we all got flaws, imperfections, and idiosyncrasies. But when you own yourself, you become a little bit more relatable to people. That means when you own and take responsibility and accountability of who you are as a person, people can relate and kind of gravitate towards it. It's like, man, that's a real dude, or that's a real chick right there. I can sit and just chill out with that person. That person ain't pretending to be something that they're not. They ain't walking with that, ain't acting out here with that fugazi narrative, you know, that fakeness, man. Man, I did that too much in the earlier parts of my life, man. So, like I always said, I'll start judging people once I'm perfect too, in all seriousness. But like I always say, since this brother's in no danger ever becoming perfect, you'll never have to worry about Sean Patrick Taylor ever judging you. Surround yourself around people, man. Change your camp. Surround yourself around people who you can be your naturally butt naked self with. Surround yourself with non-judgmental people, man. Because those non-judgmental people, man, listen, men, women, I'm going to tell you, non-judgmental people are so dope and so rare. You want to have at least one of them jokers on your team, man. Because what they're going to do, man, they're going to keep you centered. What they're going to do, they're going to call you out on your BS. What they're going to do, they're going to give you that truth. And the truth is only going to help you grow. Lies that people appeasing you and people condoning your messed up behavior, that makes you become stagnant. That it cripples you. You only grow from truth. There's no growth from lies, man. So get you at least one person in your camp that's gonna keep that thing 100 with you all the time, man. And we can all grow from the truth. Truth is a new hate speech, man. It's not sexy and people don't like it. I get it. I get it. Truth is the new hate speech in America, but truth is necessary. If you want change, change only starts with succumbing to the truth. And if you're not succumbing to the truth of who you really are, if you're not owning who you really are, taking accountability of who you really are, taking responsibility for who you really are, all your BS, you ain't gonna grow, man. Your ceiling is always gonna be the floor because you're not even owning who you are. You pretend to be something that you're not. And that's a sad, pathetic way to live, to fit in. So I'm never gonna fit in. I ain't trying to. I'm never gonna fit in whatsoever. And I ain't trying to fit in. I'm never gonna fit in, man, because I'm gonna be myself. When you yourself and when you live in your truth, you ain't never gonna fit in, man. People fitting in, lying every day. They pretenders. But I digress, man. Y'all stay up and thankful for everybody who comments, likes. I appreciate you. And man, hey man, surround yourself around people who you can truly be yourself with. And just because men and women, we are different from each other, doesn't mean we can't coexist and doesn't mean we can't make this thing work. Do not be bamboozled and hoodwinked by society and social media. It's destroying relationships. It's destroying marriages, man. You got to go back to the basics with that stuff, man. Find that old school love again, because that's what it's all about. Find that traditional stuff, because that's what that's all about. That modern age, new age shit. No, man, it's gonna have you losing every time, and you ain't gonna have nothing real in your life. I catch you guys on the flip. Peace.